Hello everyone, it's Raza Van Werder, aka Kelly Everts, talking about my private and personal life. I think I'll talk about, people might be getting by now the impression that I had some sort of a vendetta or hate or resentment or bitterness against my mother because she abused me. My parents also gave me the tools, the weapons to fight adversity and pain and evil and wickedness. And those tools were found in catechism and in the church and in the examples of Jesus and Mary and all the saints. From the time that I can remember, I have loved God with all my heart, soul, and mind. I can remember praying at 5 years old for healings, for help, for answers, for miracles, and my prayers being answered each time. I don't remember ever not being answered by God. I had absolute devotion to Jesus and Mary. Eventually, when I realized I didn't have a mother that cared about me, I transferred my allegiance to the Holy Virgin. And the Holy Virgin, my entire life, has been the symbol of mother. And eventually, I changed my religion from a religion that had a father into a religion of a mother God. And I know one of the things that was vital to my work for matriarchy was faith and belief and promotion of the mother God as our mother, not a father God. Was I angry at my mother for the unwarranted beating with her fists on my back and my neck? I've always had black and blue marks all the time, slapping me in front of people at Thorne's Milk Bar, things like that. She didn't used to always beat me in front of other people. That was usually private, so not everybody knew the way that she was hitting me all the time. Almost every day. Not every day, but almost every day. I was like a whipping post, and she was like a prize fighter, a whipping post. Get her. I'm mad, so get her. I'm the scapegoat. You know the principle of the scapegoat? In the Old Testament, there was one day in the year that the Jews would designate as emptying themselves of their sins. And they got a goat, and the whole community would put, metaphysically, their sins on the goat. And then they would push the goat off the cliff to its death. I had a good lawyer friend who I was friends with for years. We used to talk once a week for an hour or more. Not John the lawyer that I've mentioned before, but another guy. I can't even remember his name, but we were friends for years. And he worked with prisoners, and he worked with different types of social work and ministries and stuff. He was very religious, worked with the church, worked with prison systems. And he told me the following: what a family does is they choose a child to sacrifice. And the entire family projects or puts their anxieties on that child. That child will take the brunt of, in a sense, of their sins or their anxieties or their, they blame everything on the child. They blame everything, like they did on the goat. They put their sins on the goat. So he says, you were that child. You were designated as a sacrifice. in your family. And he said, that's the best place to be. So, I don't know, he didn't explain what he meant by that's the best place to be, except that I'm not the one that committed the sins. I didn't do it to somebody else. I didn't put my sins on somebody. I'm paying for my own. I'm not going to ask unless, Jesus paid for my sins in a sense, yeah. And then I paid for my own as well, with him, together. They blame me. She brainwashed other people. She brainwashed my evil brother Jimmy and other people to hate me and to blame me for everything. I was the bad guy. From the age of 10, I was the bad guy. I was the bad guy. I was the bad guy. I was made to work. I was made to whatever, And then to push me off the cliff meant I didn't get any moral support. I didn't get any favors. I didn't get any privileges. I didn't get food for necessity. I didn't get money for necessities that I needed. I was deprived of food sometimes. Obviously, I didn't starve to death, so I wasn't completely deprived, but I was deprived of food at certain times. I was demoralized. I was made to feel ugly. I was made to feel unworthy. I was made to feel I had no value. As soon as I met anybody that they knew, and people always liked me, they liked me very much. By the next day, after they got a hold of these people, whoever they may be, people looked at me strange, like either they ignored me or you could tell they didn't care about me the way they initially did, because they were briefed. They were briefed that I'm no good, I'm weird, or whatever that they said. Whatever that they said. They fixed everybody against me, and it was all of them against me. It was like the community. The community that put their sins on the goat. So you would think I would have hate and anger. Now, you always have anger when you're abused. There is anger. But that anger can be used in different ways. That anger does not have to be used in a sinful manner. When abused kids go into a institution where they're helping them, a therapeutic situation, they make them sometimes take a plastic baseball bat and beat a pillow with the plastic baseball bat. That's dissipating the energy, the negative energy, the anger, dissipating it without hurting anyone. God told me that my way of dissipating my anger was to lift weights. I became a weightlifter and exercised a lot and lifted weights from an early age. Whatever anger I had, I dissipated it. I did not let it, because anger will internalize and turn into bad depression. Now, I did have depression. I had a lot of depression. A lot of depression. So maybe I didn't cure all of it. Obviously, I didn't cure all of my anger. It was probably in there, But or maybe it was the demoralization. But when my mother got cancer and I was told she was going to die, I prayed to God, and I prayed the following prayer. I said, God, do not let her go to hell. In my opinion, she might go to hell. I'm not judging her, but I'm saying there was a chance she might go to hell. So I said, God, don't let her go to hell. I'll pay for her sins to be continued.